So let's rewind to about a month ago. I had just made a video on why the Wii U is still worth it in 2021, and one of its defining features was Virtual Console. In that, I did explain it could not play 3DS games, and I kinda complained on how I'll probably never be able to play those 3DS games since I don't have a 3DS. Fast forward a bit. I've just graduated the 8th grade and subsequently the school I've been with since pre-K, and my parents say, guess what? For graduation, you're getting a 3DS. So, it came in the mail a few days ago, and I played it for a bit, and then I thought, I should really do a review video on this. So, this is why the 3DS is still worth it in 2021. Now this video will be slightly more complicated than the Wii U video, only because there were multiple models of the 3DS, while the Wii U, there was just the Wii U. So I'll be going over each model of the 3DS and what its advantages and disadvantages are over the others, as well as why it is still worth it, because I believe all the models are still worth it in 2021. So let's get right into the review. But before we go into each model of 3DS, I want to talk about what all the 3DSs have in common and what makes all of them so special. First off, we need to talk about why it's actually called the 3DS. Stereoscopic 3D. Stereoscopic 3D is basically where you can have a 3D effect on a screen and it looks like things are either in the screen in a 3D environment that looks like it's realistically 3D, or it looks like they're sort of coming out of the screen into your environment. Basically, it's 3D without 3D glasses. And what would a gaming system be without its games? The games for Nintendo 3DS are truly great games. Some of them, I would say, are even console tier. Super Mario 3D Land, for example, is a great first-party platformer which uses the stereoscopic 3D beautifully, allowing you to discern where things are in the 3D plane, which really helps with depth perception, which was previously slightly difficult in Mario games. As well as Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. That game uses stereoscopic 3D very subtly, but it uses it in such a great way. When you turn off this 3D slider, just things look a little off, but when you turn it back on, it looks like you're watching it the way it's meant to be played, that you're looking into the world that Luigi's in. And really, there are plenty of other great games that use this feature, and other games that are just fun to play that might not even support 3D effects. Either way, the 3DS, no matter what model it is, all of them will have these great features. Now let's talk about the original 3DS. Now, the original 3DS pretty much just had these features that I've talked about, and not really much else. You could play 3DS games on it, and it had stereoscopic 3D. The bottom screen was a touchscreen, just like the original DS, but the form factor was slightly uncomfortable to hold, and though I think it is still definitely worth it, you can definitely do better with the other versions of the 3DS. Now, the first ever revision to the 3DS, the 3DS XL, solved the problem of the uncomfortable form factor as well as offering a larger display, though it still had the same resolution. Again, it can play all the same games, and it has the stereoscopic 3D and the touchscreen, and it is a great system, and it is definitely worth it in 2021. Again, you can do better, but I would say that this system is definitely great. The new Nintendo 3DS added multiple features to the already great console, as well as, though not having the size of the 3DS XL, still having a comfortable form factor. The new Nintendo 3DS added face tracking 3D, meaning if you tilted the 3DS or your head, the cameras in the 3DS would track your face and make it look like the 3D effect was still there. As well as it had an extra control stick, which allowed you to control the camera in select games. Not only that, but it added ZL and ZR, which are commonly trigger buttons on Nintendo controllers, to the 3DS. So now, there were the shoulder buttons and the trigger buttons, which could be used for select games. Because of these improvements, some games were exclusive to new Nintendo 3DS, as well as the next system I'm going to be talking about. So, this is why it has an advantage over the previous two designs. But, again, you can still do better with the best of the 3DS systems, the new Nintendo 3DS XL. This is the model I got, and it is by far the best out of any of the 3DSs. It has all the features of the new Nintendo 3DS, plus the form factor and larger screens of the 3DS XL. It's the perfect blend of both worlds, and it offers the best experience for the great 3DS games. Now, I know there are other models in the 3DS family, being the 2DS and the new Nintendo 2DS XL. However, those don't have the stereoscopic 3D, and frankly, I don't think they're worth it, really. The games are still great, but they're really missing a lot of their charm without that 3D effect. So, I think that the 4 models of the actual 3DS are the ones that are still worth it in 2021. Now, I think I'll go over a few more features that they all have. Now, I've already gone over the fact that the 3DS has exclusive games compared to, say, the Wii U or the Nintendo Switch. However, it also has access to Virtual Console, one of the Wii U's defining features. Now, of course, you won't be able to play Wii games on your 3DS. The original 3DS did launch during the era of the Wii. However, you are able to play Game Boy Advance, Game Boy, and original DS games on your 3DS. And speaking of original DS games, like the Wii U had Wii Mode for backwards compatibility for Wii games, the 3DS has backwards compatibility with DS games, so you can still play your favorite DS games on your 3DS. Now, there are a few minor details I'd like to go over as well, such as the fact that there's a Mii Maker on the 3DS, which I'm fairly certain is just as advanced as the one that you can find on a Wii U. As well as there's an internet browser which allows you to surf the web if you don't have your phone or another device handy. So, in conclusion, I would say that all 3DS models are worth it in 2021 because of all of the amazing games on the system that you can't play anywhere else, as well as the stereoscopic 3D effect that truly immerses you into the worlds of those games. Thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, please press the like button and subscribe, as well as press the little notification bells if you want to be notified whenever I upload a new video. Also, please follow me at Twitter at _GameBlock for more gaming news, and I now have a Twitch account which I will be live streaming to, which is GameBlock_ with a capital G and a capital B. Links are in the description. Thank you all for watching. I'm Jacob with the Game Block, signing off.